Bună seara. Hello. Good evening. I didn't know if I would win, but I still wrote a speech. Because I am an actress, I'm an artist, and I really like to, when I get the microphone, to understand the responsibility I have and this gift that other people like me don't. Not that I am more special in any way than my cousins that still live without electricity, but since I have this privilege, I wish you all will give me this chance, okay? Thank you very much. Dear respected ERIAC members and ERIAC supporters, I would like to thank those who nominated me amongst artists I like to be surrounded by and learn from. Dear Selma, you bring so much joy with your force and uniqueness. Dear Arpad, I'm such a fan of your work, and I think I speak for all of us when I say thank you for telling your necessary stories. Hamze, you are such a trooper. Thank you for weaving like a spider such a wonderful network of Roma artists around you. Robert, I would like to have an applause for Robert for giving us this amazing work of art. And I am honored to receive something made by your hands. Thank you so much. And I hope to learn more about your art and your stories. Dear all, I am very happy, grateful, and honored to be here this evening. You know, it was very improbable for me to be where I am and to do what I do today. I come from a traditional background where early marriages are a reality. But my parents encouraged me to be the first one in my family to graduate from high school. I spent my teenage years in a house made of manure, without hot water, and with rats as uninvited guests. I managed to survive, but I managed to survive by replacing the things I didn't have and others took for granted, like electricity and hot water. I replaced them with my imagination. This has been my strength. When I had almost no chances to succeed as an artist as well, shaping a possible reality that was not real until I made it happen. In 2009, I chose to tell my story publicly in a theater play. To see a Roma woman on the stage not entertaining people, wearing black, and speaking about her personal experiences of facing discrimination and poverty was a very, very curious case for the arts and the media back then. Telling my own story became a way for me to generate change and to create another narrative about us. I found myself at 22 in TV shows where I was asked to debate with far-right leaders, being asked hard questions and always asked to represent the group and not just myself. I saw my faces in magazines, but I couldn't afford buying them. Everybody was saying to me, "Your mom must be so proud of you." At that time, I was living with my mother in a two-square, 2 square meters room in a building where she was cleaning. She would hide the newspapers where they were reviewing my show, fearing that we will be again evicted because I spoke so publicly about our personal story. I would come back home tired after touring my show in high schools, after dealing with biology teachers that would say that us Roma have something faulty in our genes. I would see my mom with her feet in cold water, washing rubbish bins. I had to ask myself so many times if I'm doing the right thing, if things will ever turn out okay. But then I would receive a message from a student that just saw my show and said, "Hey Alina, thank you for making me think about the society we live in." Then I would wipe my tears and say, "Okay, I will do just one more show." Roma actress beats the odds. This was the first title of the first international review of my work. And it was true. Over the past 10 years, I had to beat the odds to become a Roma feminist political theater pioneer and the first Roma-Romanian theater and film director. I'm glad that my work led the way for other Roma artists, and I'm very honored to have the opportunity to break ground for such expressions. As an independent artist, I know many independent artists know what I'm speaking of. I had to create every step of my path, to make space for my art, to fight for every project day by day without a safety net. In face of censorship, aggression, insults, sexism, anxiety attacks, I continued to tell Roma stories from a Roma perspective. I am happy to share with you my biggest artistic dream that I had until now. My biggest artistic dream until now would be to make a feature film about the Roma slavery, told from a Roma perspective. Ever since I debuted 10, 12 years ago, I worked with an idealist determination of a Don Quixote to make small steps in achieving this dream. Some of you know my play, some of you know my interest in the topic of Roma slavery already. Recently, I directed and wrote my first short film. As part of the feature, I would like to and dream to direct one day. Receiving this award is a much needed contribution for the production of the short film, and I really hope one day that we will celebrate together and have tears of happiness for the feature film. All these years, there were many times I could not defeat nepotism, personal preferences, and my story and my work was invisibilized. But today, I am seen. Having my work acknowledged today means I am no longer invisible. I am seen by my people. Being around Roma artists here, it's wonderful. And healing. ERIAC, allies of ERIAC, people that are doing all sorts of good work. Your work is needed And I am so proud of all of us. Thank you. Nice to care. Mulțumesc.